Hi, so today's video is a bit of a tour. As you may find, our course moves forward and things change a little bit over time, but I wanted to show you some key places where we put information. So one of the most important things, obviously, we're already in our classroom. The dashboard, the general overview of all the classes is on a previous page, and we've clicked on our class. So we've clicked on whichever class we are focused on. So a key area is going to be this left sidebar. Obviously, you're probably used to that part, but I wanted to walk through some areas where information generally is. There is, of course, information that every course shell has. So it will link you to a syllabus. It will show you your due dates and grades. However, each instructor also gets to decide what sort of extra details they want to add. We're all going to post in the student lounge. We're all going to include a couple of items there, but each one of us has different ways that we want to share information with you. So some places to look each time are going to be in the student lounge, and they're going to be on the dashboard, which is where we are now, but we can always click and come back. And when we're on the dashboard, we're going to look at announcements. Those two places are things that every instructor is going to add their own little touch to. They're going to post something. How detailed, what sort of things they like to give you, that's going to really depend on the course itself. I do a lot of templates and videos because we are talking about writing. And obviously, when we're doing writing, we are writing and reading a lot. So I do videos because it gets really hard to just keep reading and reading. And I also am going to give you a lot of templates and things like that because I want to prepare you for your future courses. So the first thing we're going to look at is sort of the overall, how do I figure out what's going on during that week? You may have noticed that we are shifting to these really cool content concepts. So when you click on a week, like so a session, or on even the welcome, you'll be taken to a page that's going to walk you through the course. It also may have, let's click on this one for session 1. It may also point out that it has readings and different things like that attached to it. So as you can see here, it shows introduction, and I think that says reading on it, and it will link you to different PDFs, or it will tell you what chapters to read. So I personally struggle with things like that because I like all of it in sort of a chart form. So in a class, you need to take some notes. You need to write down what's happening. What sort of readings are there? Do you need to download them? Do you need to copy the links to keep them? Or are they telling you about what chapters to read? So because all of that to me is a little bit difficult, if you go to the student lounge, you will see a thread for support materials by session, and I'm going to be including those PDFs just because for me I need sort of charts and things. So I'm going to put charts in a couple of places. One, I'm going to have all of these kinds of things, these different readings. When possible, I make a PDF even out of website pages, templates, because it's just nice sometimes to see things in a document form rather than me sort of explaining or describing what it could look like. I like to give you outlines. I like to prep it in APA format. If you're fine, if you are ready to go with APA, just ignore me and make your own. But if you feel like, well, what kind of stuff should go into this template? What should it look like? For instance, session 2, the in-text citation worksheet, depending on your computer, it may come through in the document, maybe fine. But if there's anything sort of out of place and peculiar, you can use the PDF as well. So I try to give you some space for those things. And then I try to also give you sort of an outline. What could it look like? What kind of questions could we ask? And I also like to give you, if I know them, so for here, for O. Henry and Maupassant, I have their works in the references already ready for you so that you can see what those could look like. And then, of course, supports, so things like calendars, but I also tried to give you the full course shell, which we're going to look at in a moment. But I try to give you all of these different kinds of pieces and supports to great links to websites and, of course, our YouTube channel. So I wanted to go back to the dashboard from here, because I also put this information in the announcements. So when we click over to them, you'll see the ones that are posted to date. What I like to do in the weekly overview is give you everything that's happening. So I give you sort of a chart of grades. So what assignments do we have? What kind of assignment is it? So discussion thread, a submitted assignment, how many points it has. Ideally, you're posting an initial discussion, your main post by a Wednesday. That doesn't always happen, but we try. And then, of course, all of our main posts are by Sunday. And then I try to give you the pre-recorded items. And of course, we usually have links to Zoom. Of course, last week was very, very strange when everything sort of shut down, but that doesn't happen often. And then again, for having information, rather than have you try to find all of this, and you could obviously take notes when you're in that sort of session preview, but I personally like to have all of that ready for you. So take the notes, that's an awesome step, and then also come here and see what kind of pieces we're looking at. So this points out what chapters you should be looking at. You'll see that in a class like ours, we list a lot. You're not supposed to read all of these chapters instantly. What we're saying is that over this session, these are the kinds of ideas that we're going to start looking at, and it will be really good if you know where to go. So, for instance, if I'm talking to you about a type of punctuation or some mechanics of writing, you'll know it's in those chapters. And then, as you go forward, you may find that those same chapters are listed elsewhere. And then I like to put all the information about an assignment in here as well. So everything about the quiz, some tips, everything about the 5-paragraph paper with some tips and ideas. And then this way it's all in one spot that you can utilize. And so as we go forward, you'll see that these pop up every single week, and they'll have all of this material. They'll tell you what dates, what kind of assignments there are. All of this is available in multiple places. For the due dates, you could go over to the left sidebar, go to due dates and grades, and it will pop up. For finding out what sort of details there are in our assignment and what kind of topic outcomes we're looking at, obviously that's going to be in the session, and when you go to that preview area you can review it. So lots of my things are sort of doubled in the sense that I want you to be able to find them any and everywhere. I don't want you to feel like, where was that? Because wherever you click you should be able to find it. Another thing is that your faculty will list, how to find them. I try to fill mine with lots of information. So I share pictures of my babies, my fur babies, and then I give you things like the full course shell and calendars as well. The calendars are both a list of assignments and due dates and an actual calendar sort of form with due dates and then grading return dates as well. So hopefully that gives you an idea of where the key areas are for our class. And then of course we would go somewhere like discussions to explore what we're chatting about that week. And of course we have Zoom and tools. So if we click on Zoom, I don't know if it opens here. It opens the tool one, but if we go over here to Zoom, if we click on that, it will take us to our Zoom classrooms. But of course, remember, everything is in multiple places. You could get that info in the student lounge or from the dashboard as well. And we'll go ahead and click on the due dates and grades so you can see that list, and then yours will start to populate. And we really do want to explore here because I'm going to give you, of course, a grade. You'll get a number, but don't stop there. You'll also get a conversation bubble here in the middle, and I want you to look at feedback. I also appreciate it when you go to your submitted assignments because I will give you inline feedback so that you can see it specifically within the text. So hopefully that helps you start to explore what's happening. It is hard at first because there are indeed so many places, and this yellow line is covering up student resources and all these other places that you can go as well. Just kind of keep punching buttons and exploring, and you'll find things that you really enjoy and appreciate and that help you.